Welcome to the KW Next Gen podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin Pennington, and part of the Next Gen team. We will hear stories from young adults who are living big lives and attaining really big goals. KW Next Gen is a 501c3 nonprofit that was founded by Gary Keller of Keller Williams. Our mission is to empower and equip the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs with the tools needed to remove limiting beliefs, take action, and live a big life. KW Next Gen is founded on the models and systems of Quantum Leap, the material that Gary Keller has been teaching for years. It helps people understand how to build big businesses, to live really fulfilling lives, to understand financial literacy, and remove all of those blockages. So join us as we talk with our young adults who are implementing these practices and really accomplishing their big dreams at a young age. We'll also have a chance to talk with our instructors, our board members, and our coaches who are pouring into the next generation and making a really big impact on their community and our world at large. So let's jump right in. Hi, Bryce. How's your day going?
Good. How's yours, Caitlin?
It's going so well. This is the highlight of my day. I'm so excited to chat with you. So how about you go ahead and just introduce yourself, your name, how old you are, and where you're from?
I'm Bryce Thompson, if you didn't know. I'm 27 years old. I was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida.
Amazing. And you still live in Jacksonville, correct?
I do, yeah. I still live in Jacksonville. Love it here. Don't see myself leaving. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a great area. I have considered living there myself, so don't blame you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I know this, but for our listeners, in your own words, what is KW Next Gen and how are you involved?
Oh wow, such a loaded question, right? So KW Next Gen, I have so many words on it being involved over the past couple of years. To me, KW Next Gen isn't really just like a program for young adults. It's more of a community of like-minded professionals, focused on growth, impact, and I've helped teach Quantum Leap. I've even completed the coaching program. I've used the scholarship funds to attend family reunion. And over the past year, I had the privilege to speak at QL Summit as a leader. That was really exciting, thanks to you in Austin, Texas. So that was really exciting. So yeah, KW Next Gen has so much to offer. And there's not enough words to talk about it. It's more of like a feeling when you're involved. But yeah, that's kind of how I've been involved over the past couple of years.
Yeah, and it has been such a joy to get to know you. So about a year ago, February, I'm at Keller Williams' big conference, what we call family reunion. Bryce and I got a chance to meet. As he said, he was there using scholarship funds to be able to go to this big conference and be able to network with other people within real estate and within Keller Williams, which was so cool. And you really just stood out to me as someone who was a young person, but also was really chasing their dreams and very professional and really personable and so on and so forth. So it was also such a joy to have you as a QL Summit leader at our flagship event. So QL Summit is our biggest event of the year, goes on in June, and it's a 3-day event that people like yourself, Bryce, get to come to Austin, Texas, get to learn straight from Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams, gets to learn Quantum Leap materials straight from him and some of our other amazing top instructors. And what you said there, though, is the community piece. And I think that piece, I'm so glad that has been your experience, because we have young adults, we have instructors, we have coaches that are all over the whole country. Actually, I just had the opportunity to interview Joel on our team, and he shared that we're in 6 different countries now. We have different
That's awesome.
instructors in different
That is
countries.
awesome.
We have young adults that are doing coaching and scholarships in all different countries too, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And yet having the opportunity to have you and some of the other young people, we have almost 200 young people that come in June to be together, and you all, and like the friendships that you create, the networking that you create. And that's an opportunity to not just be within real estate or within Keller Williams. The different people that are there are from all different walks of life and all different careers, and everyone throughout their 20s, which that can be a really big spans of what you're doing in life. You can be everything from like just graduating high school to like 3 full-blown.
Yeah. Life moves very quickly after high school, and I found that, and that's why I'm glad you mentioned that. Where you have so many different people that you can talk to. And so you don't really feel constrained to talk about real estate or your career. You can just talk about life and goals and drive. And so it gives you that chance to just build connection and trust within those kind of groups that you end up getting put into. And it's life changing. It really is. I mean, some of the people I met there, I still talk to today. My sister is currently going through the coaching program and she loves it. She's at FSU. Danya on my team, I got her in touch with KW Next Gen. She used the scholarships too. So it's been awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just am so grateful for you for being part of the community and being so inclusive to different people. And whether it was at family reunion, whether it's you teaching back in Florida, introducing Danya, your sister, it's like this is really what we're talking about when it's like when the seed is planted and you allow it to grow, and then the ripple effect that you, as the young people, a lot of times we talk about the effect that an instructor could have, or a donor, or a
Hmm.
coach, but really you all as the young people, I jokingly say often is that it's peer pressure in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you're surrounding yourself with other young people that you want to wear off on you and that you want to
Yeah.
wear off on them.
Yeah, and it's different too coming from the best analogy I have for it in my head is kind of like, if I don't hear about a restaurant, I'm not hearing about it from the chef. I'm not hearing about it from
Mm.
people like you who are cooking and like doing the things that we rely on when you're part of the program. I hear from the people that went to the restaurant and tried the food. And so, hearing it firsthand from me, from as my sister or Danya, it's so much easier to relate, to understand the impact it had when you hear it from someone, that's been through the program, that took away so much, where the impact was huge in my life and I'm able to share that. So yeah, it's really cool, kind of the ripple effects.
That's such a good analogy. I may steal that from you at different points, but thank you for being our, Google review or so on and so forth, and just our restaurants so that we don't have to go out and say it quite so much. And it's
Yeah.
so much more valuable coming straight from you. And that's why I like hearing straight from you as well.
Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit and go back to the first time that you took a Quantum Leap class and attended it. What was that
Okay.
experience like for you?
That's a good question. The first time I took Quantum Leap, I was a month into real estate. I had just gotten into real estate. Life was very crazy. I got introduced to the program through my team lead, Mark Dilworth. Sadly, he's not our team lead anymore. He retired, but he was also a coach for Quantum Leap. I'm not sure if he still is,
Yes,
but
yeah.
he was a coach, is a coach, and man, he's just a great person, great human being. When I first started in real estate, and he introduced me to the program, and it was a full day thing. He just went through everything, and that was the first time. I think that was the first time I had ever been to any sort of growth course, anything. I didn't go to college, so I didn't really have that, and in high school they don't do any of that. And so that was the first time like I had wanted to be in business, but this is how you make it happen, and kind of planning out my dreams. And man, just he showed me what goal setting is and what it means to make my dreams feel attainable rather than just so far away. And since then, a lot of these goals that felt really far away I've accomplished. And I just almost have a different outlook on life in that aspect because of that first experience. I'm forever grateful for him. And it's cool because now anytime he teaches it at our office, he usually brings me in to speak on my experience and I get to help him teach it. And so it's a cool full circle moment there.
That's awesome. And I'm proud of you to be at a young age, still, you said 27, right?
Hmm.
And teaching it too. And I'm sure that sometimes people in the room are older than you. Sometimes they're probably younger than you or your same age. And I think that whether you're receiving this material or teaching this material or just going over it in your own time, you can
Hmm.
gain so much from it. And what a cool thing that it's like you were a student in a class and you took it and you took a lot of value from it. And then now you get to give that gift right back to other people, which is really
I know
cool.
I'm almost aging out. It's like every time I go back into the room, I'm like there are more and more people who are younger than me, and than when I first went there, and that's just how it is. And so it's cool though because I think as you kind of gain this experience and wisdom doing it, and you're able to share that with your experience starting young, like I did when I was 25, and now being 27, just showing that like this stays with you. It's not just a one-time course that you go and take. It stays with you for years and years afterwards if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's different every time too. I think that's
It's
something that
different
we
every
can't
time.
stress enough, that it's like every time you teach it, every time you take it, every time you read it, whatever, it's slightly different because you're a different version of yourself and you may receive it in different ways. Plus, there's just so many moving pieces of Quantum Leap,
Hmm.
which makes it so valuable. It's not something that like you take once and you're like, I got it, fully understand it, done and done, done and dusted, got it all figured out. That's why it's so, I mean, Gary still teaches it in the lens of like, he's still on the journey, many years
Hmm.
later, as well as many of our instructors who have had great success in every area of their life. And they still will be the first to say, like, I'm still learning from this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it really, really valuable to all of us because I
Yeah.
have learned so much from it. And good Lord, I still could benefit so much more from it every day. So very cool. Well, and thank you
Yeah.
for also being an instructor too. That's valuable time that you give to others, which is really, really amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So we're talking about how valuable, Quantum Leap is, but what are some of the maybe the models or systems specifically within Quantum Leap that you utilize the most or that you find valuable in your life?
That's an easy one. I mean, GPS 411 all the way.
Okay.
GPS 411 all the way. I still use it to this day, week by week, for my goal planning. That's probably the biggest model I've taken from Quantum Leap in the experience. And it's hard to
Explain what
describe.
those are to someone that
Yeah,
like has
yeah,
never
I was
does
I was
not they're like, GPS on my phone, like I'm getting like Google Maps, like Apple Maps, what? Like what is GPS?
I don't want to give people who are watching the full cake because you got to go to Quantum Leap to get the full cake. I'll give you the icing. Basically, it's a goal planning worksheet. It goal plans your life down to the minute. And I mean, you think something as cool as becoming president. I mean, it's going to walk you step by step by step by step by down to the hour and help you time block it to get to that next step. And what I realized doing my GPS on a weekly basis was tracking my goals. I was accomplishing them much quicker. And it got to the point where I was setting different goals for myself because of where I was going or what I wanted to do next. And not just goals, a lot of people think goals, they think business or health. This was life goals. Some of it was spending more time with friends and family. One of my first goals was I'd been with my girlfriend for 6 years and I always wanted to propose and I just needed to save up the money and buy the ring and plan the trip. And when I first started, that was kind of my main goal. I ended up doing it before the end of the year. And before I knew it, I just started pulling the trigger on things that I was really scared to do because it felt like such big things. And the GPS shows you very quickly that they're much smaller than you think. You just got to take them, eat the elephant one bite at a time. But it's good to see what the bites look like.
Oh, that was
So yeah,
so
that,
well
that's
said. And
that's
I think
GPS in a nutshell.
yeah, no, that's a great way to say it because like how often do we just think of a goal or set like a New Year's resolution or something like that and then 3 weeks go by, 6 months go by, 5 years go by, 10 years go by.
Hmm.
And, some of you that are younger might be like, what, 10 years? No, like things happen and life happens really fast. And suddenly you go, oh, I haven't even gotten around to that thing. But breaking it down into those small pieces. So the definition of quantum leap is a small, little, tiny, tiny little, like the smallest measurement, but a leap.
Hmm.
And still, you have to take that leap of faith, but you have to break it down into those small pieces and what's next. And you just explained it so, so well in a way that, yes, dangled that carrot, take quantum leap, you got to break it down for yourself. But also what you said of like achieving those goals faster than you expected, whether it's a personal goal or a business goal or a health goal, any of those things, when you write it down and you break it down into really small, digestible pieces, then you can actually reach it a lot faster because you know what to do every single day to get there rather than it feeling like this daunting, overarching thing that you're like, well, I hope someday that'll happen. And someday
Yeah.
could be a lot sooner.
Yeah, it allows you to be more present too,
Mm.
because you're not think of this big goal every day of how am I going to get there? Eventually, I'm going to get there. I'm really just present in the day. And at the end of the day, if I know I need to spend 2 hours on this to get this done in the next month, once I spend that 2 hours on this, I'm more present for the day. And I'm not thinking about this big goal that I need to start working on or do more for. It's like I have this plan set and it allowed me to dedicate more time to my family, my niece, my fiance, and just spend more time building relationships with people while at the same time knocking out my goals. I just didn't realize how much time I had until they started making me fill the spots. And I was like, wow, I was wasting a lot of my life being scared.
Wow, that's so wise beyond your years, Bryce, for sure. And the gift of presence and the gift of focusing, there is the one thing that's taught in Quantum Leap 2 of deciding what's the one thing that I need to do today, and
Hmm.
what's the most important thing. And then it does give you the gift of being present in other areas of your life. So if there is something that you're like, this is really going to move the needle forward today, then once I'm done with that, then I can go play or I can go spend quality time with people. Like, then that becomes my most important thing. And that
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like there's just this endless amount of daunting work that just goes on and on and on. It's like you're chipping away one little piece at a time and you're moving forward while also enjoying the present moment and the present
Yeah.
state of life too.
Yeah, the stress kind of goes away. And kind of my biggest takeaway from like doing the GPS and Quantum Leap in general is that it's fluid. Like life is just fluid. I mean, the GPS, the goals, the interests, the priorities, they all evolve throughout the years, and the GPS can kind of flow with it. It's like as my priorities changed, as my goals changed, like the GPS just you just fit it right back into where you're at week by week. And so we all know life is crazy and we all know that it can change suddenly and things can happen. And it just be allowing the ability to just be fluid throughout your whole life. And as long as you just kind of follow the system how it's built, I mean, man, it's so much easier.
Yeah, that's so true. And especially in our world today, like your generation, the generations that are coming after us and everyone, even every generation, has so much going on, right? Our attention is being pulled in more directions than ever. There are things that we could spend time on more than probably ever. And having that clarity of what you want to focus on and where you're actually going just really helps to like reduce the noise and reduce the clutter and like hone in on what you really want to be working on, which I think is a super valuable and necessary tool in our world
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
Yeah. So another piece of the quantum leap material is creating your personal mission statement. So we know businesses oftentimes have a mission statement of who they are and how they show up in the world, but quantum leap gives us the gift of creating our own personal mission statement. Are
Hmm.
you willing to share yours and kind of what it means to you?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. My mission is to positively impact the people around me by giving back my time and resources and setting an example of what's possible through coaching and mentoring those less fortunate.
Love that, Bryce. And I want to again shine light on the fact that you're not saying that because you're like a 60-year-old person that has like figured out every element of life, right? You are a young person that believes in yourself enough that you can mentor and coach and share your knowledge and your life experiences at any age. And I think
Hmm.
that is something to really highlight. And quite frankly, like, I jokingly call myself the KW Next Gen Big Sister, but it feels like a proud big sister moment where I'm like, you're someone who like is in still our demographic of young adults, yet you are already teaching, you're already mentoring, you're already sharing information, you're already giving so much back to people
Hmm.
your age and younger and older. And like it's so important. I love when young people like yourself show up to the world and say like I'm not going to let my age define me. And that doesn't mean, and that could be the same sentence for someone who is 70, right? That like or
Yeah.
80 or 90. Like my age is not going to define me in the same way that an
Yeah.
18, 15, 12-year old, their age should not define them, And so
Yeah.
what a cool mission statement, Bryce. I
Yeah,
love that.
something I learned from my coach, and this is really big when it comes to your mission statement, is your mission statement can change a little bit, but it has to be something that's you can focus on your entire life. It's not dedicated to your business. It's dedicated to who you are as a being, as a person. What do you want to spend your life doing? Because it shouldn't be this huge goal. It should be something you spend your life trying to achieve and trying to give back. And so as someone who's been through a lot of hardship growing up, it's for me, I just wish I always had that person. And now I do with KW Next Gen, that person or that group that was willing to help me get to the next level and help me get out of the hole of, what it means to be successful without not seeming too young or not experienced enough or trying to build it. There's a lot of gatekeeping out there. And so, KW Next Gen does a good job of not allowing that, spreading knowledge and just giving back in all facets is that's why I love it.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think that Truly successful people are generous with their knowledge, and they understand that success is not a limited resource because success has a million different definitions, right? So that really segues nicely into, like, I know you got a lot out of your coaching program. You mentioned Mark Dilworth as the instructor initially, and I know that he's been a mentor for you. But do you want to talk about a little bit about your coaching experience and how that's influenced your ability to then pass that on to other people as well?
Yeah, I mean, so my coach, Aubrey Bailey, who ended up being my actual coach, along with Mark Dilworth, just always being a great mentor for me. I mean, the coaching in general had such a big impact on me. It's funny because I think my biggest challenge, that I had to overcome was my mindset, and he did a good job of that. And, Aubrey taught me that I have value. Aubrey taught me that my goals aren't too big. Aubrey kind of taught me that my goals were too small. He said, "You're thinking too small picture here because you could accomplish this in 3 years if you really put your mind to it." And so some of the biggest takeaways I took from coaching, obviously my GPS, my 401, my knowledge, but also taking a step back and goal planning for my entire life. The things I want to accomplish. When you become a young entrepreneur or a young professional, you get so wrapped up in entrepreneur and professional, and you wrap that mindset around business. You wrap it around all the growth books you can read, all the podcasts you can listen to, all the YouTube videos I can watch. And what you don't remember is, like, there has to be some sort of balance in your life, and not every successful person spends their whole life, sat in the book on business. So Aubrey taught me that I can game plan for my business just fine, but I need a game plan from everything I want to do in my life, where I want to travel, what I want to spend my life doing. Do I want a home? How many kids do I want? And that was something I took away, is that coaching experience, he wasn't just focused on me growing business wise. He was focused on me just growing as, like, a man, as a person, as a being. And that was the love was just so crazy. It was awesome.
Wow. Wow. I like have chills over here. That is so amazing. Yeah, our coaches and Aubrey specifically are just like, they really do. They pour into the whole person because
Mm,
frankly, I mean, a software on, a program can give it, a different whatever. It can give us like benchmarks on how we approach business, or be like, here's your metrics or whatever. But it really is that human connection that allows you to grow as a full person and a human being. And I loved what you said about, like, where do I want to travel? Do I want to have kids? The fact that you utilize the GPS to propose to your girlfriend and now fiance, and that you all are on the track to getting married, like, it is so important to remember that, yes, business and our financial success and our purpose in that area of our life and career is important, and it's totally okay. But really, the people that I know I respect the most, or the people that seem the happiest in the world, also focus on those other areas of life as much, if not more, than
mm,
business. So it's really great to hear and to see that you're learning that at a really young age, because I think that's what's really important too, is that you're getting the opportunity to learn that and practice that at your age, rather than learning the hard way of being, 20, 30 years down the road and having a lot of, like, regret or shoulda, woulda, couldas. You're learning to prioritize what is important to you now, and learning that you can grow in all areas of your life, and that is not something that you have to, like, you don't have to give up a big business to have a great relationship, or so on and so forth. Like, you can have it all.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you really can. You can have, and a lot of people say, like, it's funny you say that. I want to have it all, but have the little things. The little things are super important. For me, it's funny because the propose is a great example, because people were talking to me, just propose. For me, it was bigger than that, though. It was bigger than that. We've been together so long, and so, like, putting it on the GPS made it a real goal for me to follow. And other goals might be different. For people who are fast acting and like to pull the trigger, they might put some really big goals on there, so that way they can accomplish, maybe they accomplish 4 out of the 5, but they accomplish more than they thought they would. So that's why I love the GPS. Again, it's so fluid. Like, anyone can use it. And then the coach just matches what you want to do and helps you through that. They're not going to tell you need to do this, this, and this. They're going to say, what do you want to do? Let me help you do it. And that's what I love about it too, is the coaches are just as fluid as the GPS. They're just trying to pour into you and help you. And man, I mean, I know so many people have been through the Quantum Leap program, the leaders I met, that all just have amazing things to say in so many different ways, like so many different business ways, so many different life ways. What is it? Trevor wants to go to space. It's just the little things for me that's what makes KW Next Gen so cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And going off of again these mentors, Mark Dilworth and Aubrey Bailey, and even just you now being a QL Summit leader and an instructor and being able to be that mentor, was that something that you witnessed growing up, or was that something that you feel like you had a lot, throughout the years, or is that something that you've been able to receive from these specific people more later, in life?
I had few mentors growing up. I had dads, I had two dads. And so, it's tough because sometimes you need a mentor that's going to let you do what you want to do, how you want to do it, and guide you there safely.
Mm,
And a lot of times you don't find that at a young age. You find a lot of people are trying to kind of tell you what to do in the safe way versus you do whatever you want. I'll help you get there. And so that's something that as you get older, you turn 18, you have free will again, you're going out into the world. And a lot of parents are like, do whatever you want to do. But some parents, and those are most people's first mentors, maybe don't have experience in the field that you want to get into and maybe don't have experience kind of coaching successful entrepreneurs. And so that's what I think KW sets us apart is my dad is awesome. He stayed in the corporate world for a long time and I wanted just a different path for me and my family. And I needed someone who could teach me that. And, he didn't have any friends that could teach him that. I didn't grow up around a bunch of business owners or entrepreneurs. And so that's what was so tough for me is I wanted to do something that I didn't have growing up at all. It was a totally different option. And so the option was do what they did or try to find someone who can help me through it. And man, like that's again, KW Next Gen, they surrounded me with people who could help me do it.
wow, yeah. And I love that too, because like we don't get to choose what family we're born into, and our parents are just people too, and they give
Yeah.
us as much as they possibly can with whatever they've been given in life. And I think it really is up to us, though. At a certain age, we say, okay, I'm going to take this from the family that I was born into. I'm going to take these pieces. These feel like they're like pieces for me to like go forward with. I'm going to maybe leave the other ones on the shelf, maybe not so much for me. And I'm going to find new pieces and finding the people. And that's part of the quantum leap material is finding different people in different areas of life with whether it is mentors, whether it is a friend, maybe it is someone you can learn from, and
Hmm.
deciding, okay, like it doesn't all have to be given to you by your family or even your initial teachers and stuff when you're young. But when you get to a certain age, when you start getting into your 20s, you have the power to choose who is influencing your
Hmm.
life. I often remind ourselves too that like we're so gifted with the fact that the whole world is at our fingertips that like if you want to learn from someone and maybe it's not your personal coach or maybe it's not a personal instructor or someone that you have like direct access to, but maybe it is someone that you can listen to their book or read their book or listen to their podcast or go to a conference that they're leading. You can still
Yeah.
learn from so many people. Like look up a free YouTube video of someone that you really admire and respect and learn from
Hmm.
them,
Yeah.
And it's so great that like technology in our modern day gives us those mentors that otherwise we would have never had access to. So I
Yeah,
think
you
that's
just you just you just have to know what it is you want and go after it. I mean, that's really what it is. You have to know what you want and go after it. And yeah, you need a push sometimes, I needed Mark to tell me to go to this class and that I would really benefit from it. You need someone to share experience with you. But at some point you just have to, like you said, you can watch our YouTube videos or you can DM them every day until they say yes.
yeah.
Like you can eventually get there. You just have to keep putting your best foot forward every day and learn as much as you can from the people that you look up to the most and kind of form your own identity in that way. And it's going to change. I mean, my identity is probably going to change many more times, when I become a father, when I become a grandfather, when I become a husband, when I get another dog. Like it's just going to change so much. And that's what the community is all about, I think, is to help you through all that change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like anyone that has maybe made it this long into the episode, I couldn't imagine them not being convinced by being intrigued by taking a class and getting more involved. But maybe if there is someone out there that's your age or a little bit younger, a few years older, somebody in their 20s who is still skeptical, or like I still like, maybe they're like, I don't know what Keller Williams is. I don't work in real estate, or maybe I just started in real estate, whoever they are, right? What would you tell them of like the importance of attending a Quantum Leap event, or what they might be able to get out of it?
Go. I mean, you won't know until you go. And it's again, it's like a food that you never tried, and finally you try it, and it's like your go-to favorite food now. It's like you wish you would have tried it sooner. And here's what I'll say. I was lucky enough within my first month a Quantum Leap was going on, and I got to try it very early into my career. But had I known that I could take it at 18 years old right out of high school, I would have done it. And so, to all the people watching that are thinking about attending a Quantum Leap event, whether it's via Zoom, whether it's through your market center, talk to someone, ask them, reach out to Caitlin, reach out to me. Like, we would be happy to put you in touch with a Quantum Leap event. And it's one day that ended up changing my entire life. It's one little day. And so I think it's worth it. Go for it and just meet the people. And whether it might not be for you, because again, it's not going to be for every person on the planet, but it might be. And you might meet someone in that class that ends up becoming your best friend, and you might meet a mentor that ends up coaching you, and you might want to find a different route. And so to those, I say, just try it, get a taste of it. And when it goes great, reach out to Caitlin and tell her how great it was.
That's so great. And like, yeah, just go. Like, and I think sometimes I often hear, when people are like have had such great experience and they're like, it's life changing. I always put this little like disclaimer where I'm like, and if it doesn't feel life changing, that's okay too. Like,
Yeah, it's okay.
different days. And, if you're tired, or you maybe just, I don't know, or struggling with something one day and you aren't able to focus, that's okay too. You're still getting little nuggets of
Mhm.
self-development, and it's still planting those little seeds that eventually, like, maybe the light bulb will go off months down the road or years down the road of like, oh, that is actually valuable information. So as you said, it's a day in your life that you get to invest in yourself. That's really not a huge price to pay, especially since they're free. It's not a huge,
Especially since they're free. Right. It's
just
free
see how you,
self-development. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta just go in there with an open mind. That's all I'll say. Go in there with an open mind, and don't be afraid to be honest with yourself on what you truly want in the world. And you'll plan it out. And when you see it on paper, you're gonna realize how much more accomplishable something can be, and achievable, and that you have value.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And we both mentioned like self development, but there's a lot of self development tactics out there, especially these days. You go on any TikTok, Instagram, whatever, there's just like every guru under the sun. What do you think sets QL apart from all of the others?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot of self development, and being in real estate, starting off as a realtor, and not everyone that goes to these events is. There's so much noise out there. The one thing I have to say that sets QL next KW Next Gen apart is like its completeness. It's not, there's a lot of self help and self development out there that's focused on kind of one facet of your life. It's whether your business, your health. You can have six different books. It's business, health, family, marriage, being a parent. Like, you can have all these separate books. QL is so malleable to like what you want in your life that it fits everywhere. There's no barriers to entry. You're young, you can do it. 18 years old, the teaching is adaptable to kind of anyone's journey. After experiencing QL and then going to family reunion and reading so many books, Atomic Habits, like all of it, you realize QL takes small nuggets away from all these things. I mean, it was created by some of the smartest people for that reason. It's just so complete. I mean, it talks about wealth management, it talks about your life, your goal planning, it talks about community, building relationships. It's a life self-help on everything, not just certain little things. And the experience, there's no experience level. I mean, you can be 18 years old and know nothing, and you can be 30 years old as a coach and have four successful businesses and be like this crazy uber successful entrepreneur just giving back. And so that's what I love about it too, is everybody has so many different experiences to share.
Yeah. Wow. You're hired, Bryce. I didn't pay you to say all of that, but you're hired. And it is
No.
important because Quantum Leap, I mean, people take it at all ages. I've seen people in well into their 60s, 70s in the room taking it and still learning from it. And I've also had, 12 and 13-year-olds that are gathering little nuggets from it. So it's really timeless. And like you said, it's all encompassing rather than having to go to 1,000 different places, which I'm like a self-development hoarder. I listen and read everything I can get my hands on. And I still just feel like this is really a very all-encompassing class and process.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it so well. As we begin to just kind of wrap up here, is there something major that you think that QL or KW Next Gen has helped you overcome and move closer towards the person that you want to be?
My mindset. Like that's my biggest thing. Myself. It helped me overcome myself, my own beliefs. We talk a lot about limiting beliefs in QL, and that's, I think, my biggest for me is just, again, making me feel like that I could do it, making it look realistic and not just so big. I started for so long just admiring the monuments of top business professionals, and now I'm chiseling away at my own and building my own monument for myself and my family. And sometimes that's just what it takes, is your mindset and just getting past your own self beliefs that you can or can't do it. And you can do it, and Quantum Leap is just going to help you do it. And so you just have to accept that your dreams are possible, and just go to Quantum Leap and let them help you accomplish them, and they will.
That's awesome. And just rewiring that brain. I love the analogies too. There's such a visualization of like admiring the monument and then starting to create your own. I wanted to like just make sure that everyone heard that because that was a great way to put it. Yeah. And so for those people that might be listening that are over 30, all of us that are way over 30, and they're thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to benefit necessarily from the coaching and the scholarships. So why is this relevant to me? What would you say to maybe someone who wanted to get involved as a donor or even as an instructor or coach? Do you have anything that you'd like to share with them?
Well, if you're watching this far and you're not already convinced on the ripple effects, just take the time to get to know us. That's really it. I mean, if you're not looking for anything yet, look to build a relationship with any of the people that have been through the program, any of the people that have just tried the program for the first time. Just sit down with Caitlin, that has helped lead so many and seen so many transitions in our lives, my life. Get to know us, because we have big dreams, we have bigger hearts. And so that's something that we share a lot among, when I was at Quantum Leap Summit, I noticed the positive vibes were there. Like, we were just so high on our own dreams that we wanted to just spread it to everyone we knew. And so whether that support comes through time, coaching, funding, or just spreading the word, just spread the knowledge about this program to someone that's 18 to 29, and let them take the program, and maybe you can see how it affected them. It makes a difference. And so you've seen the ripple effect through me, and you realize it just doesn't change my life. Changed my sister's, changed one of my friends, changed the lives of the people I impacted. And so that's what I'll say to you over 30, that your worth means a lot more than you think, even though you're not actually taking the program. And believe it or not, you can benefit a lot from, even though you don't take it, just being a part of it.
Yeah. Oh, so true. High on our own dreams. Maybe that's going to be our next t-shirt. I like that a lot. And it's so true. I mean, it's what makes me just enjoy the position that I'm in every time I see one of your all stories. So on our website, kwnextgen.org, there is an entire library of impact stories, which is really, really great. We are now going to be putting out these podcasts, being able to hear from amazing young people like Bryce, so that these stories get out more. I think that is what just fuels my part in this, or this small part in this organization. And what makes me so excited is just like hearing from you all. When you said like your hearts are so big, like truly it's just like warms my heart to hear you guys really attaining your dreams. And in a world that sometimes can be confusing, or that dreams feel hard to attain, I don't feel like that's the case with people that have taken Quantum Leap and the young people that we work with. I feel like you all have this outlook on life that you can make a difference in the world. You can make a positive impact. You can really, really be the person that you want to be. And when I imagine a whole world full of leaders that have that mindset, like what a cool world to live in. And I think
Man.
a lot of people like that in this world. And the more that we can have, the better. So
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Well, it has been such a pleasure, Bryce. It is always so great to chat with you. And I love seeing your journey. I'm cheering you on from afar all the time. And just excited that, yeah, your younger sister attended QL Summit this year too. And she's in
Hmm.
coaching. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And just the people around you, I just know you're having this like huge, when we say ripple effect, I think you're having more of like a tidal wave with everybody around you. You really are making a really big impact. And I think you should give yourself a little pat on the back for that, because that's
Thank you. No, you've been awesome throughout everything. I mean, even inviting me to QL Summit, I mean, that was huge. I mean, what an opportunity. I'm so forever grateful for just one, although you help manage such a big program, you're so involved still with even just the day to day, just talking to the, application and the coaching department. Like you do it all. I don't know how you do it, but thank you for everything you do. We are so blessed to have you.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Bryce. Well, I can't wait to see just all that you accomplish in this world. And I know that tons of the people listening have probably been so inspired by you, both to get involved with KW Next Gen and just inspired in general because of all that you said. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And anything else that you want to share? So, like, what's your next quantum leap? What's your next thing that you have coming up that you're excited about?
Oh man, I can't talk about this next year without being excited to marry my best friend. After accomplishing that goal last year, I mean, that's what I'm most excited about, Kaylee, in November. So I'm super, I mean, I can't talk about the motivation for my life without talking about her. And then professionally, I'm just going to keep continuing to build my real estate career here in Northeast Florida. And something super exciting that I've been working on for this past 6 months to a year now is me and a couple other business partners. We're launching a new venture I'm incredibly passionate about, a real estate media company called Coastal Studios with just two amazing partners. I couldn't be more blessed for that, have honestly supported me and helped lift me through kind of starting something so big as this. I've always been passionate about photography and real estate and videography. And so getting to combine them, I'm just so excited. And one of the cool things I do want to mention is a huge shout out to Jeff at Tuck Media. I met him at QL Summit this year, and he does all the photography and videography for the QL Summit events. And after speaking with him right after QL Summit, and I think we talked for like 2 hours. I mean, he gave me so much knowledge and advice and guidance that really helped me push this company over the edge. And so, I mean, in a formal QL attendee, he even went through the QL program. So again, another ripple effect. So I'm super excited about getting married. I'm super excited about Coastal Studios. So I can't wait. This year is going to be epic.
Well, huge congratulations on that. I know that like the first time I talked to you, you spoke about photography and videography and that you're really creating that into a bigger part of your business and your life. And what an awesome, awesome thing. And to partner with friends. And yeah, I mean, Jeff Tucker went through Quantum Leap with some other guys back in college, and he has gone on to make quite a career for himself and do some really amazing videos and media for us and for lots of other companies. And so I love that you're being able to learn from him and then to be the next him. So that's so exciting. And I can't wait to see all that goes on. And I'm going to have to, all those people out in Florida that need some great videos for your listings and everything, hit Bryce up.
Reach out.
And yeah, this is so exciting. And it's truly the entrepreneurial journey, right?
It is.
It's expanding into all areas of business that light you up and get you excited. And that can change over time, or that can definitely expand over time. So good for you. And so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up there. Definitely check out kwnextgen.org for all of the information that we talked about. We mentioned QL Summit, which is our big flagship event that will be going on June 4th through the 6th in Austin, Texas this year. And so that will be coming up, but we do have other Quantum Leap events, both virtual and in person, all over the country and all over the world. So if those fit better in your schedule, check them out. And if you're interested in being a donor, instructor, or coach, check out our website as well. And we will see you next time. Thank you, Bryce, for being an amazing, amazing guest. It was a wonderful experience chatting with you.
And thank you, Caitlin. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining for this episode of the KW Next Gen podcast. We hope that maybe your interest was piqued to attend a class or get more involved. If you're between the ages of 18 and 29, we would love to have you in a Quantum Leap class. So go to our website, kwnextgen.org, and click events. Find maybe an event in person near you or an event online. They're always being added, so check back if you don't see one that fits your schedule. And if you're beyond 30, we would absolutely appreciate you considering being a donor. KW NextGen cannot provide these events, coaching, or scholarships without generous donations like yours. So again, visit our website at kwnextgen.org and click donate. If you become a monthly donor, you get great perks, or a one-time gift is always appreciated of any size. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time. This podcast is for general information purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions of the guest represent those of the guest and not KW NextGen and its affiliates, and should not be construed as financial, economic, legal, tax, or other advice. This product is provided without any warranty or guarantee of its accuracy, completeness, timeliness, or results from using the information.